Being normal is the fastest way to become invisible. And I mean that in every sense of the word. You're invisible to the people around you, invisible to the opportunities, invisible to yourself. Because when you're trying to fit in, when you're molding yourself into what you think other people want, you're not actually there anymore. You're just a copy of what you think normal should be. But the people who actually stand out, the ones that people remember, the ones that get opportunities and build real lives, they're the ones who are weird. And in this video, I'm going to break down why being weird isn't something to be afraid of in general. It's actually your biggest advantage. And I'm not saying that in like a, cornball kind of way. It might come out as that. I don't know. I'm trying to make it, I'm trying my best not to sound, I'm trying not to sound cringe. But we'll start with the basic psychology of it. Our brains are wired to fit in. Way back in evolutionary history, being kicked out of your tribe meant death. So we developed this deep, almost automatic instinct to conform, to be like everyone else. And that made sense then, but it doesn't make sense now. But we still carry that instinct with us. It's still there in the back of our mind telling you, don't be too different, don't stand out too much. Just blend in and you'll be safe. Except here's the thing, you're not gonna die if you're different. I guess depends whatever country you're in. But let's say you're from the US. Nobody's going to exile you from society because you like video games more than football. Or because you have opinions that don't match your friend group. Or because you're interested in something that seems uncool. Yet we act like that's what's going to happen. We spend so much mental energy trying to be normal that we actually lose sight of who we are. And the result, everyone around you is doing the exact same thing. You're all trying to fit in. You're all wearing similar clothes. You're all listening to the same music, watching the same exact shows. You're having the same surface level conversations all the time, about the same topics all the time. You're all invisible. You're all basically just one person. It's not the greatest thing to be. You want your own thing going for you. And in some groups, it's kind of their only way of being together. Little groups, I kind of understand more. But when you're in a big group of like maybe 20 people with friends, some people in that group they're trying to fit in. Some people sometimes don't feel like they belong in that group. They're just fitting in. No one's saying nothing, but they're just kind of fitting in the way they feel like they should. And that's not a way, things should go. It really isn't a way people should be. And I probably should have said this at the beginning. I want to be clear about what I mean by weird, because I think a lot of people misunderstand this. Being weird doesn't mean being shocked or weird for shock value in general. It doesn't mean doing things to get attention or to make people uncomfortable. That's just being desperate. Real weirdness is just being yourself. That's it, because that's weird now, right? You like something that most people your age don't like. That's weird. You have an opinion that goes against what your friend group believes. That's weird. You're passionate about something that seems uncool or niche. That's weird. And here's what I realized. Everyone has something they're weird about. Everyone. But most people hide it. They keep it locked away because they're afraid of what people think. They're afraid of being judged. But the people who don't hide it, the people who lean into their weirdness, those are the people who end up doing interesting things. Think about any successful person any creator on YouTube. That's a good example. Any creator on YouTube. If everyone was the same exact person, which a lot of people are, but the outliers, the people who are just completely different, who are very popular, you watch them because they have your same humor. They have this, they have that. If everyone was the same exact person, you'd watch everybody. But sometimes you don't like a specific person on YouTube, and it happens because everyone's different. And that's what makes YouTube YouTube. And on like entrepreneurship, Steve Wozniak was weird about computers when nobody else cared about them. Now we all have iPhones because of that weirdness. Minecraft itself is weird. It's literally just a block game. You're watching it right now. Really think about it. It's completely different from every other game. But it became the most played game ever because it was different. Because it let people be weird in it. Maybe a little too weird in it. I don't know. And the thing that ties all these examples together is confidence. But not the kind of confidence you're thinking. Real confidence isn't, I look so perfect, so people should like me. Real confidence is, I don't care if people like me. I'm doing this anyway. And that's magnetic. People are drawn to that because it's rare. Everyone's so busy trying to be normal that when you see someone just being themselves, you notice it. It's pretty easy to notice it. Now let's talk about what actually happens when you choose to stay quote unquote normal, when you choose to hide your weirdness and just fit in. First of all, you become forgettable. It's pretty easy to forget you. You blend in, your friends might like you, but there's nothing distinct about you. There's nothing that makes you memorable. In a year from now, will they remember specific things about you? Or will you just be another person they used to know? But there's something deeper than that, something that actually matters more. When you're constantly performing a version of yourself that you think people want, when you're hiding the real you, that's exhausting. And it creates this weird disconnect on some level. You know, the people don't actually like you. They like the character you've created. Another example you can use is YouTube. You know, a lot of people put on an act, and a lot of people burn out from it. It's pretty easy when you're playing this character, you know, pretend to be someone you're not for YouTube, and, you know, you kind of just get that burnout. I've seen people with hundreds of friends who are miserable because none of these friendships are based on who they actually are. They're based on a performance, and you can't build real connections on top of a lie. But then there's a practical side of it, the opportunities that you actually miss. Opportunities don't come to normal people. They come to people who are doing something different. People who are pursuing something that nobody else is pursuing. People who have a perspective that nobody else has. Think about your own life. When you've stumbled onto something interesting, something worth paying attention to, wasn't it usually because someone was doing something weird? Someone was pursuing their weird interest, and that became the thing you were interested in. That's how it works. The weird people are the ones who create opportunities, and then normal people follow behind and try to replicate what they did. If you want to build something, create something, or become someone, you need to be willing to be weird about it. Because if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, then you're just like everyone else. You're pretty replaceable and you're generic. But you're probably thinking, okay, this is like the easiest concept to ever understand in the entire universe. Like, this is not new. Like, everyone says this, blah, blah, blah. Or even like some people, like, you can't just flip a switch and stop caring what people think. That's not how that works. You don't need to become a completely different person overnight. You just need to start small. It's pretty easy. You know, pick one thing, just one thing you're weird about, something you've been hiding, an interest you don't usually talk about, a hobby that seems uncool, a way of thinking that's different from your friends. Just one thing, and then do it. Show it, talk about it, no apologies, no explaining yourself, just be honest about it. And here's the key part. Don't wait for permission, which a lot of people do. That's kind of weird. Nobody's going to sit you down and tell you it's okay to be yourself now. I'll be honest, like, no friend group is going to do that. It's something I can't, it's just, they're not going to do that. No one's going to do that. You know, you have family or parents, they'll do that, you know, some boomers. But people your age, I'm assuming people, you know, around 20, whatever, they're not going to tell you that. No one's going to tell you that. Most people actually won't care as much as you think they will. Anyway, that thing you've been so afraid of to share, your friends will probably either not care or they'll actually think it's interesting. Because they're probably hiding their own weird shit too. And when you show them yours, it gives them permission to show theirs. Or like a gate, like an open door for them to share their own thing, you know? Suddenly you're not alone anymore. You find out that everyone around you has some interest and weird opinions, quote unquote. And now you can actually just be yourself together. Sounds kind of crazy, but that's when friendships become real. That's when you're not just performing together, you're actually connecting. So test it, you know, start with people who actually matter, not strangers on the internet, not someone you met on, you know, a Discord server or, I don't know, a game, any other game. Not that, because those friendships don't matter. I'll be so honest with you. They do not matter. But, you know, someone you actually know, actual close friends, show them, you know, quote unquote, weird side. I don't know. See what happens. And then the second time you do it, it's easier. The third time, it's easier. And by the 10th time, you're not even thinking about it anymore. You're just the person who does quote unquote weird things. It's just part of who you are, you know, expressing yourself. And you'll realize something. Being yourself is way less scary than you thought it was. It's that simple. And here's what I want you to understand about the world. The people who build real relationships are weird. Because real attraction, real connection, that's based on authenticity. It's based on depth. It's people don't fall in love with someone who's playing it safe. They fall in love with someone who's interesting. someone who has weird passions and unique perspectives. Obviously has to cater to something similar to what they believe, but you can get what I'm saying. People don't like a copy and paste, at least real connections, real love. They don't like a copy and paste because they can just get you anywhere else. That's why, cheating is so easy nowadays. Someone can find you and, you're the same as the next person down the street. It's not that hard. Just be different, be unforgettable. They have to be thinking about you all the time. The people who get opportunities are weird because companies don't want robots. They kind of do now, AI, but you know what companies, real companies, they don't want people who do exactly what everyone else is doing sometimes. They want creative people who think differently. The person with a unique idea is the one who gets ahead. And the people who actually feel fulfilled, who actually feel like their life means something, they're weird. They're pursuing things they actually care about. They're not just grinding through a meaningless existence. Meanwhile, the normal people, they're invisible, they're replaceable, they're easy. AI can take their job in the matter of seconds. Well, sometimes just companies are just horrible, but they spend their entire lives wondering why they never became anyone or accomplished anything. The only real failure is staying small, is choosing to be invisible, is letting fear keep you from being yourself. So here's what I want you to do this week. One thing, just one, please, do something weird. Share an interest you've been hiding, doesn't have to be something crazy, like something from the depths of hell that you've been hiding, nothing that you'll take to the grave, just something that you're interested in. Football, shoot, it can even be political, share your political thoughts on something. That really sparks up conversations with friend groups, if they care. Try something that seems uncool. Be honest about something you usually lie about. That was a voice crack. Wow. Show people the real version of you, worst case, nothing changes. Best case, you start building real friendships. Actually, no, the worst case can be they hate you, which those are not real friends then. I'll tell you that. But you start finding opportunities. You start becoming the kind of person who actually stands out. And you realize that being yourself is not just okay, which in this day of age, you should realize that people should be themselves now. It's actually the only way to build a life that matters. But yeah, something just quick and simple. I've been feeling great about myself lately. I've been kind of talkative lately, with friends and family. So this video kind of resonated with me. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked making it. Put in the comments if you have any video ideas or something I should talk about, or how this resonates with you. I don't know. It could help someone out. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, and subscribe, please. That'd be awesome. I'm 100 hours from being monetized, and I haven't made a video in a while, so I probably should do that. I probably should get back to this. Okay. That's all I want to talk about. Have a good day. Bye-bye.